What does strength really mean? Is it carrying everything on your own or being vulnerable enough to admit when you need support? Well, we're going to attempt to welcome back to another episode of the Men of the House podcast. And today it is Unfiltered Friday, where we go deeper than any corner office, any water conversation, water cooler conversation. Yeah, that's the corporate thing, water cooler talk. Pardon me while I take a drink of my tea here. I'm gonna put it over here to avoid hitting the boom mic, as yeah, it often impedes my drinking ability. And a little little what do you call it? Disclaimer. Maybe I should. Oh, I wonder if that showed up. If you could see the mouse on the recording. But we're going with a little fuck your sensitivity coffee mug today. That's right. It's Unfiltered Friday. The world's in a crazy place. But let us talk about strength and what it really means, and maybe talk about a time when you felt like you were stretched a little bit thin. And I know definitely as men, we definitely all the time feel the pressure to be strong, even when you're struggling. I mean, do you ever feel like you don't have the option to fall apart? Definitely talking to all you parents out there, single moms, single fathers. It runs both ways. But yeah, sometimes we feel like we don't even have the option to fall apart, to have a little break. What's going to happen if we do? So I think society kind of defines strength as holding it together no matter what. We have cultural and generational expectations, um, especially as men, that reinforce the idea that vulnerability equals weakness. And I mean, this co- this the cost is in our mindset, burnout, resentment, emotional distance, health issues. The body keeps the score, holding it together no matter what. I feel like that's been my whole life. Just recently discovering something that's kind of been haunting me and causing my anger. And if you guys have listened to the episodes, you'll know. It goes back to that accident. And so I guess in a way, my entire life is feeling like you needed to hold it together. Trying to be too strong, not speaking up, and then the impact that has, be it on relationships, family, mental health. So, I mean, for me, I can say probably we'll go with most recent because most recent self discovery is kind of the key. And I was telling this story today, and man, it is so interesting to see dots connect. So, as you guys know, I wear a whoop. Shout out to Whoop sponsorship. Hint, hint. I wear it. Um, I've always slept not great, and therefore I was like, well, this thing measures sleep. Supposedly I watched it that Apple, and I'm an Apple dude. Um, I love their products. I love how They kind of streamline across everything, the iMac, the phone. But, the Apple Watch, like you have to take it off to charge it. And that's usually when it's sleep time because during the day, I'm trying to measure my activity. I want credit for all my fucking steps, okay? So I don't want that bitch charging. So, you charge it like when you're asleep. Well, how the hell is it supposed to track your sleep? And then I guess maybe they improve the battery life to where you could do that, but then you're still going to have to charge it. Unlike Whoop, they got this nifty, I don't have it with me, but this nifty little battery charger thing you just slide over the top while you're wearing it. And so I do mine in the night or in the morning. And while I'm loitering or meandering. And so yeah, you get to keep it on all the time. Although I take it off when I get a massage and when I shave my arms, because I have tattoos and I like to keep the ink looking fresh. That's right. I want a bunch of forest man hair growing over it. It's a lot of money. Not to mention the one on my right arm is, you know, the full sleeve part. The finishing of it was 6 year gift from my wife when we'd been together for 6 years. Common law marriage. So, but yeah, I needed a whoop. I needed to track my sleep. Um, would get anxiety about sleep, and I always thought, oh, sleep is probably what led to me being irritated all the time. And man, I don't know when it was, but I had a little meltdown. And I don't know what episode I discussed it in, but it's probably behind the paywall on an Unfiltered Friday. So again, if you fail to miss these because you're not consistent, you can join my accountability group. I'll remind you to watch the episode. That way you can be consistent. And then you got to pay if you don't catch it by Monday. But I'm certain that was one of the episodes, a meltdown. But the key was after that meltdown, I hadn't drank in over 2 years. So I couldn't blame my little hissy fit on alcohol. I couldn't blame the anger on alcohol. And so it was time to look a little bit deeper and ask for help. You know, I I had quit drinking, lost 64 pounds, really was feeling that desire to show my family and those around me that I'm a better person, I'm a better human being than the person I was when I drank and all the problems that caused, and that I was heading in the right direction. And then, of course, a little meltdown, and you feel ashamed, you feel back at square one, and it's time to start looking. Then it's time to ask for help. You probably realize you should have done it way before. So, one of my first things I did was start, I signed up for some therapy and then went and talked to my PCP. And I said, hey, PCP, let's explore the potential of a chemical imbalance. They run in my family. I have a father with bipolar, I believe a grandmother who was probably bipolar. Said, given my symptoms, given the timing, me keeping track of it, maybe I am. Let's try a few things or try one thing. So we gave it a whirl, but I still felt not better. and, you know, was trying sleeping medicine, and that wasn't really doing me any good. Because it wasn't getting to the root cause, it was just knocking me out. And I come across a podcast, multiple podcasts, kind of in this learning, and maybe divinely these things came across. And, one of them was strictly talking about nervous system, fight or flight, or rest and relaxation. And then another one was talking about kind of body language and, you know, things, behaviors that come out that we don't realize that we're putting on display, that, hey, it's the hurt little child that's actually the angry person that you're meeting right now. And then another podcast where a guy was talking about, most of your impressions and some of these traumas and things you have are all between 0 and 25. And but he went 0 to 7, 8 to 14, and 15 to 25. And when we hit the 7-year-old mark, I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Or didn't really forget about it. I just chose not to address it, I suppose. And so through all these, um, I was in this unique opportunity where my wife was on vacation for her birthday with her mom on a cruise, and it was me solo by myself for the weekend. I could think about some of the riff raff of my wife and I and problems we've had, and um, I could put myself in basically like a pissy mood instantly by thinking about that. And this kind of goes in this whole like your thoughts control your emotions control your actions. And so we're kind of getting into all that. And I noticed how I was going through state changes, fight or flight, rest and relaxation. And then I started putting together, oh, maybe, I've been in a little sense of fight or flight since um, that accident at age 7. Like it did something to my body. Like it didn't happen to me, but it happened to me. And, some of this stuff plays out subconsciously, whether we think so or not. And so I kind of started looking into that and investigating it more. And during that came up that accident and all the ways I felt about it. And I just kept digging, and I've been digging like the past 3 weeks. Um, but, essentially, I went to my PCP, and after I figured out, hey, this is a nervous system problem. You've had two sides of family members who are all addicts and outlaws and alcoholics and everything else, and they've been trying to soothe their nervous systems, and they've passed this bullshit on to you. Thank you very much. Oh, so sorry, so sorry. Yep, thank you. Hmm. Yeah, I was talking to my mom the other day about something about that, and we're talking about both sides of my families have fucking kidney issues. I'm pretty sure my grandmother on my Mexican side had one kidney. I got an uncle and aunt rolling around with one kidney on the white people side because my older aunt donated a kidney to her younger brother. That's mighty white of you. Any of you knew her? Yeah, be perfect saying for her because that's what it's all about, how it looks. But anywho, yeah, where was I? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. So we got Parkinson's, we got Alzheimer's, we got kidney problems. It's like my mom goes, well, you're welcome, as I age and try to figure all this out. But where was I going with that? Let's see. We were sleeping. whooping. Oh, anxiety. Went to the PCP. And once I figured out, hey, both sides of your family's been doing this, you're not depressed. It's a nervous system problem. Yes, you did suffer from some depression. You did feel it because the frustration of not being able to figure this out, you're like, fuck, I guess I am depressed. I don't know. Like, it's kind of like a submission. Like, I guess that's what they say this is. And people say, I guess that's what I am. So we tried that. But like I said, it didn't feel any better. So we went the anxiety route. And um, literally the night before I'm going to my doctor's appointment, my wife starts talking to me about YouTube for my mom, the football package, and I like break down into an anxiety attack, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so wild. And you're like, it's not normal. Like, and my wife starts like kind of looking at me weird, like, what's your problem? And I'm like, look, I'm not trying to be like this. And then I have this like to try to explain myself or overcompensate. I start to get angry, and then I'm like, nope, just feel this. Let it happen. And so I let it happen. And the but I was like, this is perfect. I have an appointment in the morning, so that's it's data. Um, but yeah, I went in, told my doctor, hey, it's anxiety. Look at both sides of the family, and I'm not depressed, and let's switch plans. And so yeah, I've been doing that. Got an appointment today. See if anything's gonna change, adjust. But yeah, the therapy. Sometimes you need help. I also did some group coaching, podcast accelerator. What did I get out of it? I think I got the information, but part of it was it might have kept me alive the past 90 days. It gave me some accountability. It gave me somewhere to be, even though I didn't have to perform at the top and be strong, quote unquote. But, you know, it gave me a group of people who are also in it, doing it. This is Thursday night. I'd like to be in bed right now. I got an early appointment in the morning and a whole buttload to do. And today took me longer and took me out. And, you know, things don't always go as planned. But it was a good day. I enjoyed it. Got a lot done. But yeah, when you got to come home and it's kind of past your bedtime and you should be in bed with your wife, cuddling and enjoying it, and instead you're recording because you love it. And you're consistent. And if you're not where you want to be, are you doing what you need to do? Ask yourself that. I am. This thing is going to drop in 2.5 hours. Boy, you hear my stomach growling. So, yeah. And after I get finished running my suck, I still got to upload it. Yeah. How about that? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Oh, man. But I can tell you, in this process, if I don't know if you've remembered any of my last um, Unfiltered Fridays, think I talked about love being the foundation of a relationship. Well, I'm going to tell you one of the hardest things, but most crucial things is you got to speak up. Otherwise, it will fucking wreck your marriage and your relationship. Um, the moment I'm not doing well, my wife can automatically tell. Even before I came in here, I was all kind of, wow. She's like, what's wrong with you? I was like, I still got all this shit to do, man. Wow. But yeah, she can notice you got to speak up. Because remember, I love this from Chase Hughes. Like he says, he tells his team, what bad news never gets better with time. Problems don't get smaller the longer they go on. So the sooner you can do it, the better, because I can tell you, as the man, father, you have children, you're the thermostat, you set the temp. If you're not in a good mood, you want your kids walking on eggshells around you? Or do you want them coming in to give you a hug? Or do you want them to be like, oh, fuck, dad's home. Let me go hide because I'm afraid I'm going to get beaten. Or is he fucking drinking tonight? Is he this? Is he that? Or do you want them to be like, oh, fucking daddy's home? Sweet. You know? And they're excited to give you a hug or excited to entertain some bullshit they don't really care about because they're kids, which is okay. I was entertaining my daughter today with I've been looking at motorcycles and looking at RVs. Take this on the road. I think I told you guys that I want to take me and my daughter and travel and interview notable people and do the podcast and see the places and do the damn thing. I don't want her sitting in a classroom reading about the fucking Louisiana Purchase from somebody who may not even should be a teacher in the first place. And who knows what kind of crazy ass ideas they got, and if they're right, left, in the middle, and what they're going to be spewing to my child or indoctrinating them with. Take a fucking hard pass. My daughter's rolling with me. But yeah, speak up. It's still fucking hard for me. I still am fighting it. Almost 4 weeks of almost grieving like a diagnosis of anxiety. Like, is my life going to be like this forever? I don't get to control when it happens. I can only get better at managing it. And I'm not always better at managing it. And sometimes I drown it out with anger. I mean, I spent one day just fucking totally pissed and just stayed pissed because being pissed was more acceptable. I felt more in control being angry. I felt more, I was happy to not feel pain and anxiety. Pissed was a better way to feel. Um, it's more familiar because I've spent a lot of my life that way. And boy, my body felt it the next day. Yeah, it was no bueno. But that's the whole point of the appointment is, let's what else can we do? I I'm gonna have to go in and be honest with her and say, hey, the fucking last 2 weeks have been my PCP, and be like, hey, it's been kind of dog shit. I've had all the thoughts like, is this the rest of my fucking life? Does it get better? Is this just the new baseline? What's the scoop? I have seen some shit and done some shit. Things that never bothered me before. It's like, how can you hold somebody? I've hands, legs, I've detached from people. I've held it. I've seen people with their faces blown off. I've seen everything, and it never really bothered me. And now, small things that seem irrelevant double me over almost into a panic attack. Or I was standing in the mall the other day waiting on Annie's pretzels for a delivery, and just standing there, all the noise, all the inputs, I felt like the world was closing in, and I could feel my breaths getting shorter and my anxiety kicking in, my body going into fucking high alert. Just, you know, who, what's gonna, well, and in today's world, I mean, I'm always fucking scanning what's gonna happen. Is there's somebody doing some shit they shouldn't be? What the fuck's going on? Because if chaos breaks out, then I'm hoping to be part of the solution. I'm not part of the fucking problem. But yeah, you just got to be fucking on alert, and I am. But I could definitely feel it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go in and be honest and say where I'm struggling, because you know, for my daughter, for my wife, for me. Yes, I love them. But fuck it, man. For me, for you, that 7-year old little boy that you've carried this whole way. You got to be the one to soothe him now. You have to have him. That's why we're asking for help. He couldn't speak and nobody would ask. He thought everybody should know because they were adults. And they said they knew all. They said they knew better. Well, they didn't. But here we are. So I have to do it. I have to give it to myself. And it's okay to ask for help, to talk to the professionals. I love Andy Stump from Cleared Hot. His analogy is go to a professional. Like, I know fuck all about cars. So I don't change my own oil. I don't do any of that bullshit. I take it to people who know how. Well, for years, I mean, I'm an intelligent person. I've been in healthcare, but I self medicated and got myself fucking nowhere trying to figure it out, trying to figure it out. I'm not trying to have any regret about it, and I don't want to. But if I'd asked for help a little bit sooner, how much further could I be? How different could things be? But God put you exactly where you need to be, when you need to be there. His timing, not mine. But yeah, it's been, that's twice, actually. Twice I've had to go to my PCP and be like, I think I'm depressed, and ask for help. And then to go this time and, you know, I'm grateful I got it, but man, there's still so much fucking work to do. As I'm slowly accepting and trying to work on tools to manage this so I can help others manage. But yeah, I would. You, you drink half a fifth of Jameson and go do the Bataan Death March the next morning. I'm pretty gritty. I'm not weak. So if I can ask for help, mofo, you can ask for fucking help. You gotta get rid of the ego. Gotta get rid of the pride. I mean, I'm grateful to have a few friends in my corner, a few men who, when I'm struggling, I can reach out. And they know me well enough, they can even read between the lines. I mean, they just know. And I am grateful for that because they can tell and they can ask the right questions. And eventually it comes out, and then I feel like a little bit weak sometimes because I'm like, oh man, you know, you got your you got your accountability group, you want to help people, and here you are feeling like a mess, and you got some of your people helping you. It's like you're supposed to be the leader, and it's like, well, you feel a little weak, but we're a team, man. We're a team. You're only as strong as your weakest link, and we're here to build each other up and make each other better. And speaking of that, let's take the time to shift into if you need help, if you want a place that you can even ask for help with other men or just need to get shit off your chest. I have a WhatsApp and a Facebook accountability group for men, private accountability group. I'm in there daily, more so on WhatsApp, but less on Facebook. But that is a work in progress. And I actually want to build that back up because I have learned through the last 3 or 4 weeks of hell since I have now asked for help and am getting it and doing the work. Um, yeah, this is what I want to do for you, for others, if you're a woman, for your husband or your sons, for men, for you. It's an accountability group. I am doubling down on that. AI cannot replicate community. So I've already built one. You're free to join. You can participate as much as you like or as little as you like. You can be a fly on the wall or a full engaged participant. You'll get out of it what you put into it. I'm in there daily, showing a workout. I put a daily devotional usually up. Sometimes any other interesting things. But that all depends on you. You can start a discussion. You can open a discussion. If you're having a hard time, do not hesitate to say, or you can message me privately. But, future vision is a group of men, a tribe who are there for each other. We all have different life experiences. We all have different roles, but we can all learn from each other and be better. One of the gentlemen in the accountability group I went to high school with, or went to all school with, and I just love him. And he gives me such great perspective sometimes. And I was talking about the accountability group and what means to be a man. And he's like, yeah, society keeps moving the goalpost. And I said, well, society's not setting the goalpost in this accountability group. God does. So yeah, there's no moving goalpost by society. We're setting, God sets the standards here. So we're going to be about love, peace. You need to be capable of violence and danger and be able to handle yourself. You need to be fit, all about that. But, you lead with love, about protecting others, passing on goodness. Violence is only last resort when love doesn't work because love is a universal language, but so is violence. If you lead with love and they can't understand that and that's what you're about, and they make you and they push you to it, then You have no choice. But back to the accountability group and love is I want it to be about that and support. And that's where I want to invest my time and eventually have some, whether it's a monthly call. And then, of course, I'll offer some coaching eventually and maybe have some paid, you know, some will be some $5, maybe $10, maybe a couple levels. Um, not looking to be rich here. Everything I have is covered. I don't have bills per se, like mortgages and stuff like that. Therefore, my overhead is low. I don't need much. But I do have to turn it into a business. I understand. This is my business. What I get paid to do, what I love to do. It's kind of teaching in a way. Or if nothing else, just holding a discussion. But yeah, I realize we need community. We need men's community. I've been with my wife 19 years. We were in the process of really, well, I think I said on the last episode, we downloaded the Paired app. It's pretty cool. Paired, shout out, sponsor, hint, hint. But yeah, we're talking about 19 years. That's a lot of hard work. Okay. I was a healthcare manager, help people set their goals, all that baloney. So I'm more than qualified to have an accountability group. So if you'd like to join, link tree in the bio. Also, I'm going to have some new stuff coming down the pike. Big stuff. You won't be surprised. I'm sure those of you who know me, you're going to be like, oh, makes perfect sense. And I think you'll be excited for me. And hopefully it'll be as I lead into the truest version of myself, the best version of myself, stripping away all the bullshit. Now I realize I don't have to be angry, unless it somebody legitimately makes me angry, then I can be. But I've noticed myself when I find myself getting angry of going, no, 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 it's not the person you want to be. So, yes, you too can turn the corner by asking for help if you need it. But just remember, you don't have to be everything. There are so many expectations. If you are a father, if you are a man, the way the world is, we got toxic masculinity to no masculinity and fucking everything in between. What is strength? To me, strength is truth. Um, Strength is capability. Strength is competency. Um, and strength is being vulnerable. And that means if you don't fucking know, speak up. I don't fucking know. Okay? Way better than pretending. If you need help, speak up. I'm the kind of guy like, hey, I'd give you the shirt off my back. If you need it more than me, I'll gladly give it to you. But if you expect it, good fucking luck. You'll have to take it from my dead fucking hands. Okay? I don't know if that's a Texas thing or whatever, but yeah, if you need it. And that's the thing. If you're like me, I'd give you the shirt off my back. There are people who want to help, and I know I did an episode on that. People who devote their whole entire lives and careers to helping others. So, yeah, as we speak about strength, truth, vulnerability, competency, if you need help, say, I need help. There are people out there who will help you. If you don't know, say you don't know. Because we only all get better. I mean, right? Don't fumble your way through it. I mean, you might learn something useful. Learn something that comes in handy one day. Be curious. I think that's a huge fucking strength. Just because you're not interested in said thing right now, don't mean you may not need it later. Same goes for how you treat other people. Um, what if there was no fucking currency all of a sudden tomorrow and we had to trade fucking services? What do you have that you could give me for something that I have that you need, and vice versa? What do you have in the bank? And that's what I'm saying, or your social bank. Um, in terms of who you are as a person, how you treat people, and then like your little skill bank of different things you could do. Should you had to barter those skills if currency were no longer a thing? But I challenge you as you go out in the world and think about that. When you look at other people, stop looking just because you don't do it or society has told you maybe the guy over there cutting the grass or riding the mower is less than. He's not. And let everybody be like, I could fucking do it. Bull fucking shit. I grew up with asthma. I can't do it. I'll have an asthma attack, end up in the hospital. So, cannot mow. But let me tell you, they never fucking crank on the first time. There's always some bullshit that's got to be done. There's like 50-50 mixtures some of them hold. Like, I don't know. But now they got electric Tesla weed eaters, I'm sure, and mowers. But my fucking point is everybody's like, I could do that. Bullshit. You can't. Just fucking go out there and pull it and try to crank it. A lot of people can't start a chainsaw, you know? So my point is like instead of looking at yourself of how fucking good you are and what you're worth and because of a position you hold because you get dirty or don't get dirty, that bullshit is toss it. Get it out the fucking window. Your value because you're fucking human. You were born here on this earth. You have some God given talent. If you believe in God, maybe you cultivated it or what we believe. Feel free to believe in whatever the fuck you want. I believe in God, but you know, you have a value, and it's just different from somebody else's. Okay, but we're all put here together to make the world better, and we all have different skill sets, and um, you know, that's what you need to look at when you're looking at people. I think that's a strength. Being able to see different perspectives. Because one day it could be you. I do Uber Eats. I see more older people working entry level jobs than I ever have. Knowing it could be me. That might be me one day. Um, I don't desire to go back in the corporate world, but by the time if I did want to, ageism's a real thing. So yeah, I'm sure there's younger, smarter, more driven people who are out there who just love to make the shareholders happy. As for me, I'm trying to build something different, which you will all hear about soon. And if I were to work with or for anybody, they would have to stand for something very righteous and special. And they would have to not be full of shit. And they would have to be fucking have lots of integrity. And I would probably entrepreneur with them where I can have some of their stuff, but uh, yeah, I'm not 100% fucking tying myself to anybody but the Lord and my family. So, Yeah. But this week's practice is say, I need help with this without guilt. Maybe even if you don't, try it out on your spouse, try it out on a friend, just to see if they'll help you. You'll probably see that people are more willing to help you um, than you think. So, and also reflect, where are you pretending to be strong? Take a good hard look and where do you need a little help? Where are you pretending? Fake it till you make it. And you might just need just a little boost. Like, what if it was just a tip? Like, hey, Richard, have you ever done this? What could make this just a touch better? And it could be a word of encouragement. It could be something. Hey, just do this next time. And your whole fucking life changes. The way you look at it changes. You never know. So, until next time, go out and be the person that you want to meet. If you want honesty, be honest. If you want realness, be real.